Hello. So in this video, we're going to be looking at what the sector of a circle is, finding the area of a sector of a circle. So when we look at the sector of a circle, we're looking at this area of the circle that's bounded by the two radii and the arc of the circle. So it's eventually it's just this chunk. So to find the area of the sector, we need to know two things. We need to know the radius and we need to know the measure of the angle itself. So to find the area of a circle, we use the formula area equals pi r squared. We find the area of the whole circle. Then we use the measure of the arc in degrees divided by 360 to get that part of the circle itself. So it's going to be times the measure of the arc over 360 degrees because there's 360 total degrees in a circle, okay? So, for example, in a circle, let's say I give you a circle, and again, my circles are always horrible. You should know this by now. So I have center P, and I have points M and N on my circle, okay? So let's say that I tell you that the distance, the radius is 3 inches, and let's say I tell you that the measure of the arc is 80 degrees. And I want you to find the area of the sector. So the area of the sector would be this portion of the circle itself. Okay. So again, to find the area of the sector, we use the formula. A equals pi r squared times the measure of the arc divided by 360. So here it'd be pi times 3 squared times 80 over 360. Well, I know 3 squared, that's 9. So pi times 9 times, so I'm going to use my calculator here to simplify 80 over 360, make it easy for myself. And we get an answer of 2 ninths. Sweet. Well, 9 times 2 ninths, that's 2. So the area is equal to just 2 pi. And again, notice that because I use inches, we know that the area is inches squared. Or you can also say, okay, well, if I wanted to find the decimal for this, I know pi is approximately 3.14, so it'd be 2 times 3.14 squared. So my area would be approximately equal to 6.28 square inches. All right, so we'll do one more example just to take a look. So again, with this, just go back. You can write your answer either way. You can write it in terms of pi, or you can write it as an approximation of a decimal. Either way would be fine. Okay, so in our second example, this time I'm going to give you a circle. I have to find my compass eventually. Okay, so in this circle we have E, F, G. We know the measure of the arc is 120 degrees, and we know that the radius is 6 centimeters. Okay. So we know our measure of our arc. We know our radius. Again, we're finding the area of this sector of the circle. So we use this formula. A equals pi r squared times m degrees over 360 degrees. Okay. So we do our substitution. So it's pi times 6 squared times 120 over 360. Great. So 6 squared, that's 36. And 120 over 360, that simplifies to 1/3. So 1/3 of 36, that's 12. So therefore, our answer is 12 pi centimeters squared. Okay. Or again, if you wanted to do the approximation for a decimal, we can substitute 3.14 in place of pi. And that would get us an approximation of 37.68 square centimeters. So this is the method that we use to find the area of stack width. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to email Mr. Art or myself. Send us an email asking a question, or send us an email asking to do an individual Google Meet. We will be more than happy to schedule that with you. Otherwise, we'll talk to you later. Have a great day.